Falcons OTAs. Michael Penix getting all the reps because Kirk Cousins is not there. He might not even be on the team.
Well, he's plan B, right, for the Steelers?
Supposedly plan B for the Steelers. That same report maybe had Aaron Rodgers looking at the Vikings still. You know, that's still being, that's got a heartbeat.
So that's what I want to talk about. So the
Cousins?
Yeah, Cousins. So NFL contracts and CBA stuff is complicated because I'm sure fans hear about like, oh, it's March, and you're like, this guy's cut, but he's designated a post-June 1 cut, even though it's March, and therefore you can split up the dead money. That can't happen with trades, meaning in order to be able to split up the dead money on someone's contract post-June 1, it actually literally on the calendar, the trade has to happen post-June 1, or just starting at June 1st. So the Atlanta Falcons, if they were ever going to trade Kirk Cousins, were never going to do it before June 1st. So June 1st is a few days away. Aaron Rodgers still hasn't shown up in Pittsburgh. If I am the Pittsburgh Steelers, first of all, I think Cousins likely will be better.
Yes.
Second of all, he certainly will be more
better for the locker room.
Yeah, better for the locker room, and be thrilled to be there.
Yep.
Show up to everything, be excited. It's his job, all of it. He's younger. Like there's all of these pieces of it where I would think that should be not a plan B, but what they want to do. It does not seem like that, and it seems like Aaron is taking advantage, might be too strong, but taking advantage in a non-negative way of the fact that, listen, this team is so, they're going to let me do it on my own time frame. Schefter today said that they would take him on September 7th, which is the day of their first game. So what are you, so I would just trade for Kirk in 3 days.
A few months ago, I would have said Aaron Rodgers is definitely the better option over Kirk Cousins. But with all the shenanigans, it may be a strong word, but just
I don't
the
think
delay.
Shenanigans is ever a strong word. I think it's always nice.
Again, he's taking control of the situation, and I feel like we're already seeing ramifications negatively of that in Pittsburgh. So I would, at this moment, I think the Steelers would be better off with Kirk Cousins than Aaron Rodgers. Neither one of them is going to lead them to the AFC Championship game, but Kirk's going to be a lot better for the culture, the locker room, the quarterbacks behind him, and I would go after him.
Final video.
Oh my God. Guys, was this an Aaron Rodgers Pittsburgh Steelers video, or is this about the Atlanta Falcons? I mean, this is absurd. They didn't have one thing to say about Michael Penix. I mean, what the heck? You know, it'd be interesting to see what the Falcons officially do with Kirk Cousins. I'm sure the Steelers are interested, but, you know, the whole thing with Aaron Rodgers is they don't have to give up anything for Aaron. They would have to make a trade for Kirk Cousins, and I'm not so sure they want to give up anything. Like, I'm sure they'll kick the tires around and see, like, hey, you know, what will it take? But I mean, they're not gonna want to give anything up substantial, because they'll rather go there with Mason Rudolph, and if they play poorly, then they'll draft higher, and there you go. So I don't know, but I would have liked them to say something, anything about this Falcons team. You know, what the defensive the draft, you know, the defensive draft that they had, Penix, which is year 1, but, you know, I'll say year 1.3 because it's his first year as a full-time starter, and he played 3 games last year. You guys know that I'm super high on Penix, and I'm excited to see what this guy can do for the full season. And, you know, that's why it's just like, I'm a big fan of just getting Cousins just out of the building altogether, just 100% in the past, move forward. And, you know, like I said before, it'll be interesting to see, like, what officially happens in that regard, because it just should be all hands on deck on Michael Penix. And if they did that last year, they probably would have made the playoffs, which would have been a pretty cool experience, and it would have been good experience for a lot of these younger, inexperienced players to actually get some playoff experience under their belt especially Penix as well. And so they already kind of took that away from themselves. So it'll be a little bit of catch up because, this division, the division is, it's up for the taking. I mean, I think the Bucks are going to be a pretty good team, but I just don't think you look at the Bucks and just think, oh my God, well, it's we the only best chance that we have is a wild card spot. Like I just don't feel that way at all. And if Penix is the quarterback that I believe he can be, I mean, I think they win the division. I said this before. I think this division comes down to how good of a quarterback does Michael Penix end up being, and if that defense can kind of come around. I mean, listen, I think it's fair to say that the Bucks can take a step forward, that especially from last year, especially dealing with all the injuries. But I think it's fair to say that the Falcons can take like 3 steps forward with an actual consistent, good to great quarterback. Now, again, you have to put this all within reason because Michael Penix is going to be a first-year starter. He is going to go through some growing pains. But I was just wildly impressed with what I saw in those 3 games. And, like I've said in many videos now at this point, Michael Penix actually had a better first 3 games than Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, and Bo Nix. And he did so in an environment where it really, really mattered, where the games actually mattered. Those other quarterbacks just got to start off the season, where weeks 1, 2, and 3, it was like kind of like a gimme of like, yeah, it's okay if you kind of don't look too great. It's your first game ever, and it's week 1. Whereas the Falcons were like, oh, dude, can you please win us these games so you can get us into the playoffs? Like, there were actual stakes involved. Not to mention, you're now playing teams where they're in the full swing. There's no rust at all. Whereas, the other quarterbacks got to go up against other defenses and other players that were like, they hadn't played in a full, off season. So everybody is a little rusty. So I'm just excited to see what Penix does from the jump, from week 1. I think he was making such high-level throws and high-level reads, literally in his first game against the New York Giants. I was like, whoa, this is it right here. So, yeah, man, like that's what I wish they were kind of talking about here, not about like Aaron Rodgers and taking care of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, great, we'll talk about it in a Pittsburgh Steelers segment then. Like this is the one window of time that you allotted to talk about the Atlanta Falcons, and you couldn't even talk about the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? This is just, come on. As soon as I saw the Falcons clip, I was like, oh, great, Falcons, great. I'm always trying to find ways to talk about the Falcons. And then it just turns into Aaron Rodgers. And then the whole time they were talking, I was like, should I just not record this? Should I just stop it? And I was like, no, you'll just use, you'll try your best to make something out of nothing here. And so this is my best of trying to make something out of nothing here. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Atlanta Falcons? How are you feeling about this season? 100 days away from the kickoff, from 2025 kickoff. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're all on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.